All right, Wasteland Warriors, welcome back for another deep dive into the DR survival community.
Yeah, this week we've got
Some really interesting stuff.
some interesting stuff, some really interesting stuff, I think.
Yeah, buckle up, because we're going to talk about elf economics.
We are.
We've got dragon dreams.
Yeah.
We've got some hilarious bug encounters.
We do. We got it all.
All right, so let's just dive right in.
Let's dive in.
And I think the first thing that really caught my eye this week was player Arch Mechanics, who decided to become the ultimate wasteland tycoon.
Okay.
And he did this by dropping 75,000 in-game dollars to get 25,000 elves.
Oh, wow. Okay, an
Yeah.
army of elves.
An army of elves during the Christmas event, thinking that this was going to be just a brilliant way to just rake in the resources.
Right, right.
So did it work?
Well, that's the question, isn't
Yeah.
it? It's elves, they're helpful in theory,
Yeah.
but they come with a price.
Yeah.
You got to keep those elves happy.
Oh, yeah.
You got to keep them fed, and that means rich chowder.
So tell me about this rich chowder.
Rich chowder is a special recipe, and it takes a lot of resources.
Okay.
We're talking like 62,000 nettles,
Oh, my gosh.
41,000 apples, 41,000 strawberries.
Goodness.
And that's just to maximize the output of one elf.
Oh, wow.
So you can imagine with 25,000 elves, Arch Mechanics had his work cut out for him.
So I'm guessing it might have been a little bit more trouble than it was worth.
Yeah, it seems like those cute little elves could actually drain your resources faster than a horde of mutants.
Yeah, they really could. And that kind of brings us to a bigger conversation that's been happening in the community.
Yeah.
Which is really about this evolving economy of WR survival.
It's true. It's true.
It seems like the game is shifting away from the crafting-focused model
Right.
and more towards like a buying model, where it's like buying is just the way to go.
Yeah. You know, the old days of meticulously gathering all your materials and crafting everything yourself might be fading.
Yeah, those are the good old days, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Player Wintermooney put it perfectly. They were reminiscing about when being a hunter and carcass seller was the best business. All crafters paid good for your goods.
Yeah, that does sound like a simpler time.
Yeah, simpler times. It seems like the balance has definitely shifted.
Now, I know some players are probably like, oh, no.
Yeah.
Like, what's happening to our game? But
Yeah.
there is another side to this story.
There is. There is.
Some players actually prefer this approach.
They do. They like the streamlined, less grindy aspect.
It makes sense.
Yeah, Last Day 3904 pointed out that in online mode, we can gift you items, mats, food, drinks, and stuff.
Yeah, that's nice.
So it seems like the community itself is finding ways to support each other in this new economy.
That's cool. So it's like the wasteland is becoming a little bit more civilized.
A little more civilized, a little less dog-eat-dog.
But let's be real.
Yeah.
Some players are not happy about this change.
Right, right.
And there's a growing sense that the developers might be prioritizing profits over, those core crafting mechanics.
Right, the heart of the game for a lot of players.
Right. And that brings us to Dev's delusional diary.
Oh, yes, that's a good one.
Which is basically this sarcastic way of saying that the developers are maybe a little bit out of touch.
Yeah, a little out of touch with what the players actually want.
Arch Mechanics actually said we only got half of the content that we have been teased.
Ouch. Yeah, that's got to sting a little bit.
Yeah, sounds like the developers might need to do some serious damage control.
Yeah, they might need to win back some hearts.
Yeah, they could always release a fire-breathing dragon mount for the Chinese New Year event.
Ooh, now there's an idea.
Speaking of which, that's another topic that's got players buzzing.
Yeah.
Speculation is running wild about what crazy new content the Chinese New Year event might bring.
Absolutely.
Some folks are hoping for a new Chinese-themed truck.
Okay.
Maybe even a tricked-out rickshaw with flamethrowers.
No, that's stylish.
But the real dream
Yeah.
is a dragon, and not just any dragon.
Right.
A dragon you can ride.
Oh, imagine cruising through the wasteland.
On the back of a giant fire-breathing lizard.
That's a power move.
That's amazing now.
Now.
Some players are taking a more realistic approach.
Right.
Like, what kind of fuel would a dragon even run on in the apocalypse?
Good question. Good question.
Someone suggested mutant meat,
Oh.
which honestly sounds kind of
a
terrifying.
little disturbing.
And then there's the question of practicality.
Right.
Would a dragon even fit through those narrow mountain passes?
That's a good point.
I guess we'll have to wait and see.
We'll have to wait and see what the developers cook up.
But hey, if they want to redeem themselves in the eyes of the players, a dragon mount would be a pretty epic way to do it.
It would be legendary.
Now, before we get too carried away with dragon dreams,
Yeah.
let's talk about something a bit more down to earth.
Okay, bugs.
Ugh.
Yes, because, let's be real, no, deep dive into Day Earth. Survival is complete without a healthy dose of bug-induced frustration.
Oh, absolutely. Wouldn't be the Wasteland without a few glitches to spice things up.
Exactly.
And this week, the award for most heartbreaking bug encounter goes to player Shadow Commando.
Oh no, what happened to Shadow Commando?
So Shadow Commando was at the final boss fight, ready to claim victory after hours of grinding and strategizing.
Okay.
And he's about to deliver the final blow when, bam, the game crashes.
Oh.
And when he reloads, all that progress is gone.
Oh, that's brutal. I can feel the rage radiating through the screen.
Hours of gameplay, precious resources.
All gone.
Maybe even a few tears.
Just like that.
All gone because of a stupid bug.
Wow.
And unfortunately, it seems like Shadow Commando
Yeah.
is not alone in this struggle.
Right.
Player Daima Sheep had some interesting insights into the game's rather temperamental save system.
Oh, really?
So Daima Sheep mentioned that they used to rely on clicking the profile button to force a save, but at some point that stopped working reliably. They then switched to clicking resume to try and force a save. But even that's not foolproof.
So there's no guarantee.
It's almost like the game is playing a cruel joke on us, making us think we're safe.
Right.
Only to snatch away our progress at the worst possible moment.
It's like the Wasteland gods are toying with us.
Exactly. And to make matters even weirder, Daima Sheep reported encountering a glitch.
Oh, no.
Where the game would offer to load online progress onto an offline profile and vice versa.
It's like the game can't even decide what kind of reality it wants to exist in.
But one thing's for sure, navigating the world of Daygrava, our survival, requires not only survival skills, but also a healthy dose of patience and a good sense of humor.
Absolutely.
And speaking of humor, let's take a break from the doom and gloom of bugs.
Okay.
And delve into some lighter moments that have been brightening up the community this week. Because even in the apocalypse, there's always room for a good laugh.
Absolutely. Laughter is the best medicine, especially when you're facing down radioactive roaches and malfunctioning robots.
And this week's Golden Gas Mask Award for most entertainingly absurd comment goes to drumroll Daima Sheep,
our resident bug expert and comedy genius.
But remember Arge Mechanics?
Yeah, our elf enthusiast.
Our elf-loving friend? He was feeling a bit down after his grand elf experiment didn't quite pan out as planned.
Oh, poor guy.
So he reached out to Daima Sheep, hoping for a little wasteland comfort in the form of some dirty water.
Ah, yes, the liquid gold of the apocalypse.
You know the universal currency of despair in Daydar?
It's the thought that counts.
But instead of simply sending over the virtual H2O, Daima Sheep decided to take things in a slightly more creative direction.
Okay.
They responded with,
what did they say?
Input cannot be used in function. Prompt failed resetting. Please enter user input to find fun.
It's like they channeled the spirit of a malfunctioning AI.
Yeah.
Offering a hilariously meta commentary on the absurdity of the situation.
It's moments like these that remind us that even in the face of wasteland challenges, the day our survival community can always find a way to laugh and lift each other's spirits. And that's what makes this game so special.
It's a testament to the power of shared experiences and the enduring human capacity for finding humor in even the most dire of circumstances.
So to all the Daima Sheeps out there, keep those jokes coming.
Keep them coming.
You're the lifeblood of this community.
Absolutely.
And speaking of the community, let's shift gears and take a look at some of the helpful tips and strategies players have been sharing this week. Because in the wasteland, knowledge is power. And sharing that knowledge can make all the difference between survival and, well, you know, becoming mutant chow.
Right. Knowledge is power and community is key.
Exactly. So you want to become a wasteland master, you say.
Let's hear it.
Well, listen up. First up, we have Mocha Reaper, who drops some serious knowledge bombs about maximizing the herbalist perk.
Okay. The herbalist perk. Now, for those who haven't delved into the depths of that skill tree, this perk boosts your chances of finding rare and valuable herbs while you're out searching.
Right. And Mochiri Reaper has figured out a way to take this perk to the next level.
Oh, really? How so?
They recommend stacking buffs like a bowl of rice cabbage, rolls of tambourine,
and
even a bio container.
Wow, that's dedication.
We're talking full-on RPG-style buff stacking here.
That's amazing.
And the results are apparently amazing.
It really speaks to the depth of this game that such intricate strategies even exist.
And for those of you who prefer a more direct approach to wasteland problem solving,
okay, I like direct.
Player Avenger Drift shared a devastatingly effective combo for taking down enemies quickly.
All right, let's hear it.
Okay, so Avenger Draft recommends suiting up in polar armor,
Okay.
grabbing the Santa staff,
Yeah.
which, by the way, is a pretty awesome weapon you can get during the Christmas event,
Nice.
and then downing a piping hot bowl of mushroom soup for good measure,
It's a potent mix of offense and defense.
designed to overwhelm your opponents before they can even react.
I love it.
So if you're tired of getting your butt kicked by those pesky bandits or mutant wolves, give this combo a try. You might just find yourself becoming the apex predator of the wasteland.
The apex predator, I like it.
But remember, even the most powerful weapons and strategies are useless if you don't know how to,
If you don't know how to, what?
Oh, we gotta save this for part 2.
Oh, all right, cliffhanger. We'll be back.
Stay tuned.
Use the save system.
Yeah, the save system, the bane of our existence.
It's a wasteland out there, even for our save files. But seriously, folks, this is important. You've heard Shadow Commando's Tale of Woe.
Yeah?
You've heard Daima Sheep's sage advice. Back up your saves experiment with different methods. And whatever you do, don't accidentally overwrite your progress.
Yeah. For the love of all that is holy, do not overwrite your progress.
Amen to that. And speaking of navigating the wasteland,
Yeah.
there's been some chatter lately about the pros and cons of playing online versus offline.
Ah, the age-old question to connect or not to connect.
Exactly. Some players, like Tracker, prefer to go it alone. They're self-proclaimed antisocial types
Okay.
who enjoy the challenge of surviving solo. And, I can relate to that. Sometimes you just want to wander the wasteland without the pressure of trading or coordinating with others.
Yeah, I get that it's like a digital detox for the soul.
Yeah,
Just your backpack in a whole lot of radioactive danger.
exactly. Pure survival mode.
But on the other hand,
Right.
there's something to be said for that camaraderie and the support you get when you play online.
Absolutely. Remember last day 3904? They were all about helping out newbies with items, mats, food, drinks, and stuff.
Oh, yeah, that's right. That kind of generosity can make a big difference when you're just starting out or facing a tough challenge.
For sure. It's like having a wasteland buddy, system safety in numbers.
And plus, trading with other players can really open up your options in terms of gear and resources.
Absolutely. You might find that rare weapon you've been searching for or score a great deal on a set of tires for your motorcycle.
Speaking of vehicles, have you seen the discussions about the MAZ 537 truck?
Oh, the MAZ 537. The legendary truck.
It's like the Bigfoot of DAR survival.
Right. Everyone's heard of it, but has anyone actually seen it?
It's out there somewhere.
The devs teased it a while back, but it seems to have disappeared.
Some players are convinced it's just a matter of time before it's released.
Oh, they're right.
They're analyzing every developer comment,
Yeah.
scouring the game files, looking for clues.
A dedication is impressive.
But others are a bit more cynical,
Yeah.
suggesting that the MAZ 537 might be nothing more than a figment of the developer's imagination.
Oh, a cruel trick.
Maybe they're saving it for the Chinese New Year event.
Ooh, a special surprise.
Imagine a giant fire-breathing dragon pulling a MAZ 537 loaded with fireworks.
That was spectacular.
Speaking of the Chinese New Year event,
Yeah.
have you seen any interesting theories or wish lists?
Oh, the speculation is running wild.
Some players are hoping for new Chinese-themed armor.
Okay.
Maybe something with a cool dragon motif.
Oh, I could see that.
Others are dreaming of a pet panda.
A pet panda now, that would be adorable.
And of course, there's always the demand for more powerful weapons and vehicles.
Yeah. Gotta stay ahead of the curve in the apocalypse.
It's like a collective brainstorming session, fueled by caffeine and the desire to survive in style.
I love the community's creativity.
And speaking of style,
Yeah.
let's take a moment to appreciate some of the smaller details that make DAR survival so visually engaging.
Okay, those little touches that bring the game to life.
Like the satisfying clink when you pick up a can of beans, or the way your clothes get all tattered and dirty.
Right, or how about the way the light filters through the trees in the forest?
Yeah, those little things really make a difference.
They do, and even the smallest visual tweaks can spark a wave of nostalgia for veteran players.
Like Daimo Sheep's comment about the old road design on the map.
Oh yeah, they said it looked more like a real map.
It's amazing how a simple visual cue can evoke such strong memories.
Absolutely, it's like those roads represent not just a physical path, but also a journey through the game's evolution.
And that journey is still unfolding with the Chinese New Year event just around the corner.
Who knows what surprises await us?
It's going to be a wild ride, and we'll be here to cover it all. From the epic loot drops to the hilarious bug encounters.
We wouldn't miss it for the world.
Speaking of loot drops, have you noticed any discussions about the loot drops from opening bunkers?
Oh yeah, I've seen some players talking about that.
I swear they're convinced there are like secret patterns or lucky rituals to get better stuff.
Yeah, like if you hop on one foot and spin around 3 times before you open the bunker, you'll get a gas mask.
Exactly. It's hilarious.
Yeah, I mean, you never know, right?
True, true. And let's be real. Opening a bunker in Day Survival is like Christmas morning for Wasteland survivors. You just never know what you're going to find.
It's like a mystery box of post-apocalyptic goodies.
Exactly. And maybe that's why those rumors about the MAZ-537 truck persist.
Right, it's the ultimate mystery item.
Until the devs decide to grace us with its presence.
Yeah, we can only hope.
I guess we'll have to settle for whatever loot the Wasteland gods decide to give us.
It's all part of the fun.
Speaking of which, have you seen any discussion about the Santa business card?
Oh, yeah, that festive little item.
Yeah, it lets you trade with a mysterious holiday figure.
Right. Good old Saint Nick.
But it seems like player carrier 9121 is having some trouble with it.
Oh, really? What's going on?
They're getting the same offers for 3 seasons in a row.
That's not very festive.
Not at all. Maybe Santa needs a vacation from the apocalypse.
Maybe he's run out of good loot.
I hear the Bahamas are lovely this time of year.
He deserves a break.
So it seems like, some of these in-game events and features can be a bit glitchy.
Yeah, that's the nature of the beast sometimes.
Which makes me wonder, are there any other visual oddities that players have noticed?
Actually, yes. It seems like even the tiniest visual changes can't escape the watchful eye of the Dayar community.
Okay, like what?
Player Gistavana Nindu noticed that the flame icon and the electric symbol in the generator have been updated.
Really? You'd think in a game about surviving a nuclear apocalypse,
Yeah,
players would have bigger things to worry about than a slightly different flame icon.
you'd think so. But hey, details matter.
That's true, especially when you spent countless hours staring at the same interface.
Oh, right. You start to notice these things.
And sometimes even those tiny changes can spark a wave of nostalgia for veteran players.
It's true. It's like a little reminder of how far the game has come.
It's those little details that really make Day Survival special.
They do. They add a layer of depth and personality.
And it reminds us that even in a virtual world, there's a sense of history and shared experience that connects us all.
Absolutely. That's the beauty of gaming.
And that, my friends, is what Wasteland Fatigue Weekly is all about, connecting with the amazing Day Survival community, sharing those funny, frustrating, and inspiring moments.
It's a community like no other.
And celebrating the game that brings us all together.
A game that truly puts the survival in survival horror.
So before we sign off, I want to know what you think. What were some of the highlights from this week's community chatter?
Yeah. What stories or comments stood out to you?
Let us know in the comments below. And hey, while you're at it, hit that like button, subscribe to our channel, and share this episode with your fellow Wasteland survivors.
Spread the Wasteland love.
Because the more the merrier, right?
Absolutely. The more the merrier.
Until next time, stay safe, stay hydrated, and keep those survival instincts sharp.
And watch out for those bugs.
See you!